like.
Well, this weekend hasn't gone to plan, people. Arsenal lost to Aston Villa. It pains me to say it, but at some point, defeat is a dish that we all have to taste, people. And I know Arsenal fans, again, we'll get into everything, but the feeling of losing or actually dropping points when we've drawn or lost sound familiar. And as much as I'm balanced, when it does happen, like it happened yesterday, you do feel a bit irrational. You don't know how to feel, but reality is we lost. We've got 2 defeats this season. The gap has been close to 2 points. We want to get this out of our system early, people. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because we do need to talk about the broader landscape of Arsenal. Like this injury stuff needs to be addressed. What we do in January, if we don't do in January, actual points of concern in the 90 minutes and actually at this season so far. And then obviously keeping a bit of perspective, because it is 2 losses. Now, smash the like button, people. Draw your points in and stuff. But this is a weird one, man. So I don't really know why I'm stalling, if I'm honest. But yeah, man, don't fold is what I would say. But yeah, hope you're doing well on this Sunday. Let's begin, people, because it's a therapy session thing at this moment, or for this segment, man. And above all, I know I create content and I'm a man of the people. I'm there to serve you lot. But if nothing more, I just need to get these things off my chest. Now, the first thing I want to say is the obvious. We obviously lost against Aston Villa. They're nicknamed the villains, and they firmly did that yesterday. Halftime, we just edged it in what statistically is a close game. And I'll say this, we're very lucky that we didn't concede more than 2 goals. And, boys, you should have scored more than a single goal. There were moments. Goals always change games. There were moments especially in and around when we got the equalizer and a little period after that where it could have went in the right direction for us. Again, let's have it right. There's several things we can talk about and we're going to talk about. But from the manager, shout out you for the halftime subs. But from the gaffer to the players, it weren't good enough. Isolated to those 90 minutes, it wasn't. You know what time it is with Aston Villa's form, with what Emre's about, with the individual qualities of their players, the games that Arsenal and Aston Villa have played, how difficult it is to play at their ground. The most you can do is put your best foot forward. We didn't do that. Not winning enough individual battles, not having the quality on the ball, every player panicking. And it's weird because there was moments where it was weird panicking, but I understood it. Anyone that's played Sunday League, moments where you've got quality players, even Timber and Rice, if I'm honest, 2 of the better players again, people. But when like someone might just hoof the ball, clear it because they're clearing out their lines and it's manic in the box. Nobody's talking and letting the person know you've actually got time. So you have to get back to basics, man. The 2 goals were poor. Absolutely poor. The only good thing we did is start the second half relatively decent, obviously grab the goal and the little period, and we could do the half, the glass is half full, half empty type of thing. But the goal we can see the disappointing from one side of the pitch to the other. Eze not following his runners, and it's not just Eze alone. Poor sequences. The last goal, scrappy, shoddy defending. Shout out Timber, he tried, but from a footballing sense, he died yesterday. We did. For Aston Villa, big them up. There were moments in the game where they don't give you a second to breathe. Obviously, they kept going towards the end. And obviously, that's what actually is a bit of pill to swallow in that. I can't say we didn't deserve to lose, so I can't say I'm surprised, but it's the moments of which they got the goals, like just under 10 minutes for the first goal before half time. Last minute, last ball being kicked in the game, people. Away from home, we can't afford to do this, which, again, people, you look at the statistics, Aston Villa rose to the occasion. We had 15 shots, they had 14. We had 8 on target, they had 7. It's not how many chances you make, it's the ones you take. And away from home, we haven't always done that. I do feel in the last few games away from home, we've not been good. And I don't even mean this in a disrespectful way. We just have not played to the standards. We have not defended our boxes efficiently and effectively as we could over a course of 90 minutes. Possessions in our favor were 53 to 47%. Passes, we had 439, they had 394. So nothing in that. Really, in terms of yellow cards, weren't nothing in it. We got the 2. They had a clean performance, and there were 6 corners. I can't lie, we ain't been corner boy. We're still corner boys in the building. Smash the like button, but we ain't been corner boying in a minute. So yeah, we just wasn't good enough. To which I thought, let me make some notes, people. The Eze left wing thing for Odegaard, it didn't bang. Now, I do think people are being very disingenuous with Martin Odegaard's performance yesterday and his need to be in the team. I do think some people are hypocritical because Arsenal fans, we don't need to lie right now. And again, we're not gassing up Eze or Odegaard, but we don't need to lie. Eze's been doing all right in his Arsenal career. leading into the North London derby. Oh, some would say, oh, Eze's a left winger. This is why Odegaard's in the team. You knew this was the angle he was going to get primarily both of them in the team. We know when Odegaard got injured against West Ham. Ironically started with Odegaard and Eze together in more central positions, and Zubimendi was on the bench for Rice. You're not going to see that too many times. So in theory, I'm not against it, but it didn't bang. Like, it didn't bang. Just starting Odegaard, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. Starting Odegaard, it didn't bang. Like, he weren't as dead as people making out, but it didn't bang. And again, Eze, I do have sympathy because I do call you a Swiss Army knife. You can play all across the number of positions and do quite well. You definitely could have played better from the left-hand side. My thing is, I do sit here and say to you, lot, from the 10-game mark onwards, now the season started, and I think sometimes you have to box smart. As I said, putting Odegaard in that central role and Eze, that might not necessarily be the worst way of going about things. But isolated to the moment we're in, I do think it is. Eze's in a sweet little bit of form. He got his hat trick. He did well against Bayern. We're getting a lot of injuries and we're already having to move parts anyway. So the ones that are banging, keep them in. I don't think it was the game for that, again, in hindsight. Mikel Merino with Mikel Arteta, I'm not going to lie, it's a good tool to have and we can box cleverly with it, but we can't make it the one fits all kind of approach, which I think we did. Like, let's have it right. Take nothing away from our boys and take nothing away from what Aston Villa and Emery and all the coaches do. But as much as we can talk about tactics and why it was won or lost, that was a typical British game. 12:30 kickoff. It's who wants it. It's kind of end to end. It's one of those things. Odegaard in that game might not be the best person to necessarily start. Merino might not give you enough going forward. And I do find it annoying because it's like we more play to a striker's strengths when Merino, who's doing a great job through the middle, but isn't a striker. What I mean by that is putting balls in areas that if you are a striker, especially an Arsenal striker, you want to get on the end of type of thing, people. It's like when Gyökeres comes on the pitch, that's not a thing. And we are getting into that weird scenario because of where we're at in the season, because of the injuries, because of us having to put more minutes in the legs of other players. You're in that weird conundrum now where we lost, and it's not tiredness, but you can see certain men are knackered. Certain people need to get minutes to get the ring rust out. It's a bad kind of cocktail at this moment in time, people. And as you can see, maybe in brackets, like the players all making basic mistakes, panicking, no communication, not defending well enough on the road. If I'm brutally honest, now, to be honest, let's have it right. Maybe you could say some European games and Newcastle away general performance, but purely the goal we conceded, you could add it into what I'm about to say. Let's have it right. We ain't been good enough on the road. I don't care if we've won or whatever. Like, obviously, we've been faultless in certain places, but, was it last season or the season before? We were very good away from home. And I just think you've got to have those standards. And where I look at Sunderland, potentially, I think you get the job done when you're 15 minutes away from getting 3 points. I think if that's played at the Emirates, but it wasn't. It was at the Stadium of Light, give or take, whatever you got to say in the game, we're 15 minutes away. And we're meant to be one of the best defensive sides in Europe. You've got to go and get that through. It's never disappointing to beat Manchester United, but not again, start of the season tax. But we were happy with the result, not necessarily the performance. Liverpool, we weren't the worst. It's more, in my opinion, on Arteta being a bit proactive, but the performance wasn't quite there. Liverpool away. Chelsea, worst performance in a hot moment, give or take, with this Aston Villa one, many would say, again, away from home. So again, I need my boys and the gaffer got to start getting it right on the road, man, a lot more now, man, because it does feel like these kind of conversations are said when we're going away from home, and that was something we was very good at. It is the first loss in 17, 18 games, people, again, so we can't panic, but it is more about kind of frustration for what we're seeing, a bit of deja vu. You are thinking about minutes in the legs now, like how... I don't know for this point now. I don't know, because Trossard's obviously battled back from injury, did his thing ironically whenever he's been called upon, came off the bench. Is he injured again? I don't know. I don't know. Is he injured again? Or I struggle to imagine that was a tactical kind of reason. So it's kind of that landscape, man. I'm not going to lie, Hincapié and Timber, the whole team was a shambles. But that looked like a centre-half partnerships that never played together. One person stepping and getting higher up the field, one person playing people on side. There were moments we could have and should have, and another day probably would have conceded with those Aston Villa half chances. Like, if my memory serves me correctly, I'm sure Ollie Watkins in the first half had a good effort, man. As I said there, man, it's not been, our approach ain't quite been there on the road. So, yeah, man, we'll get into player ratings in just a sec, but yeah, just needs to get that off my chest, mate. Now I'm kind of over it. We focus on Club Rouge and so on and so forth, man. Smash the like button if you have not already, people. What else have we got? Can we just calm down? It's December and we've lost 2 games. We do need to calm down, but then we need to be harsh on like the evident improvements. Like me, I don't want to sit here naturally and talk about Arsenal in this kind of light, but we all saw what happened yesterday. SJ, appreciate you, my boy. Appreciate you. New injuries. Hope not, man. Apart from Trossard, which obviously we hope these boys are all right. And again, minutes in the legs for certain others. Like Hincapie's just got it, but he's arrived with a Grennock. So I'm looking at him and Mascara as well. Obviously he's gone. And I'm no physio, it's above my pay grade. But on one hand, the players that, if we had a lot of fitness and stuff like that, and Saliba never picked up knocks, potentially wouldn't have seen Mascara this much, or would have seen him in a different light. So obviously you're kind of happy that players get an opportunity. I'm sure the players do. But then when you do come out from the cold and you ain't been in the season like that, I wonder, like, when you take players off the bench and you give them 3, 4, 5 games, like, do you run the risk of indirectly injuring them? Not necessarily Arsenal specific, but just the nature of the game. The amount of people losing their heads on social media is embarrassing. Now I see why people dislike us. Embarrassing. Rightly, wrongly, I feel like I'm preaching to the dead. But I told you this would happen this season. Every win is amazing. Every L is horrible. And again, I'm not talking for the balanced fans that we win, but we got out of jail there. We lose and we was actually good. Like, you get where I'm going with that. But you saw how we knew going into this season, like the good and bad about the transfer window, how the managers viewed Arsenal finishing second. Everybody saw how the world, let alone Arsenal fans, reacted when we lost the North London derby in pre-season. So you knew going into this season it was going to be mad. A few games ago, obviously we beat Bayern Munich. Can we win multiple trophies? Now you are, City. They could do a thing. This is going to be a season of inconsistency. I personally believe in been maintaining for anyone that's going to win this Premier League or a challenger per se. Aston Villa at this moment in time, you could make a case that they're involved. Chelsea fans try to play it down, but they got into the conversation. City have been into the conversation. Liverpool have been in and gone out. Arsenal have been so away from it and stuff like that. So I do think this is one that's going to run into late April, May. I don't think anyone's going to run away with it, but we have to get our act together, man. But yeah, man. You put mentality check in the title to bait me, didn't you? No, I didn't, man, to be fair. But like, some Arsenal fans have to question their own mentality. Whether we win the league, lose the league, whatever, like, people need to calm down. Like, there's certain things we need to be harsh about, but like, all this shouting and carrying on, it's not gonna help anyone. And I'm not saying be positive for the sake of it. There are concerns, as we just have spoken about in these first 12 minutes. The injuries, maybe needing to rotate, shades of last season, the fine margins, a bit of a mind games, because you are thinking, what if we obviously what happened against Aston Villa and all the times we dropped points didn't happen. But then you also sit there and think, do you know what? At least you've given yourself a platform. That is your first loss in 17 odd games. The lead point, the points gap has been cut to 2 points, but you're still in those kind of conversations. So yeah, it just needs to be better. And it does feel like it is the kind of the same old failings. I am starting to think January can't come soon enough. Couldn't tell you what players, where these players are from, or how it be formulated. But surely with the way it's going, positions, I don't know. But with the way things are going, surely, Bert or Mikel Arteta, the Cronkies, even in a loan capacity, have to dip into the market. Ain't back to reality for me. Yes, do you know what? Like, title and exaggeration, but like, I think I can only speak for people on this platform. Like, whether we win, lose, or draw, we've kind of considered all the variables. There's a lot of football to be playing, but we got to remember, man, City do have that clicking into gear. I know it's not the same City, but we've seen them click into gear. Chelsea and Aston Villa, if they keep doing what they're doing, you never know what could happen. And I do feel, forget all the other teams. This is genuinely what I feel. Before we look at all the other teams, I think our biggest enemies or best friends this year could be ourselves, because we do have that element of shooting ourselves in the foot, unfortunately. Anthony, big up yourself, my guy. DG, Saka should be dropped, needs to rest. Arise, Odegaard to be stripped. Goes to guard because he can't cope with challenges, keeps pulling out of them. He does pee me off when he pulls out 50-50s, but he's not the guy for that. I mean, allow Odegaard, man. Allow him. Saka, it's weird, man. I just think he's been indifferent. Like, even but Saka, comparing Saka to Saka, the Saka I'm seeing right now is very frustrating in comparison to the other one, because the other one was just, I've clocked the pattern, what to do on this pitch, I'm gone. It's just indifferent. There's some good, there's some bad, there's some boy, big up DG. Arteta got it wrong, in my opinion. Mourinho did all but 0 in the first half. If Gyökeres is fit, he starts. That's, again, it's above my pay grade, and the gaffer's got his way of doing about things, but it's weird for me with Gyökeres, man. It's weird. It's really weird for me with Gyökeres, because if I just look at as a just normal football fan, not trying to understand anything, it feels, you would think Mourinho is the new summer signing in terms of the striker, because he's getting fed more service. There's more clear-cut chances. There's more kind of aspects of him being in the box or box crashing situations. Doesn't feel like that with Gyökeres. Now, obviously, yesterday, rightly or wrongly, Gyökeres has come off the bench, so the game state is very different. But I do think we're in that weird mix where, you know, the Rices, the Timbers, maybe the Sackers, like they do look a bit spent, or generally players look a bit spent. Then you're looking at Yokeres, he's not really getting minutes like that. So you need to shake off ring rust. And ultimately the team, different reasons, but you throw them together, they're a bit rusty. But saying that, we do have a platform. It's what we do from this. I would say, yes, Arsenal win the league, even though I don't believe it, because I want to use up as much delusion I have left. Man, we're still in a fight, man. May 2026 parade settings, man. Also, bear in mind, DG, we are playing the most informed Villa team. They were either second or third when we played them. Think how many of those we've had this season already. We have had a difficult start. What I would say is everyone's got to play everyone twice, but the way it's panned out for us, on one hand, we kind of get the more difficult games out the window, but form fluctuates. The teams that you think on paper right now it's a walk in the park, they might be in a run of games, and you're not wrong with the form, because that is something else to bear in mind. Like, we're never happy to drop points and do this victim thing or anything of that ilk here. But when we have dropped points, it's not really been shock results sort of thing, respectfully. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, fair enough, we drew with Sunderland, but they're in a great moment of form, doing very, and as they are still now, drew against Liverpool as well. They're in a good bit of form. Aston Villa's form speaks for itself. People are talking about Chelsea being in a title challenge and whatnot. Bearing in mind, they like to say it, so I'm going to use it to fit my agenda. Champions of the world, you know, type of thing. Who else is there? Liverpool, Premier League holders, very shameless. They're worse now than when we played them, but very shameless. But you get the point in it. We're losing to those kind of teams, but at the same time, nothing in life comes easy. Everybody plays everybody twice in the Premier League. In the same way, they have beaten us or whatever happens, or they believe that they could challenge us. We should believe we could do that. And if you want to win into leagues like this, obviously it can pan out different, but you do need to step to these difficult away games and get results, whether they're not necessarily difficult away games on paper, but Arsenal's kind of bogey teams, or you need to be able to go City away. In fact, off the bat, Arsenal, I'm not going to lie, shameless, bare emotion behind this, but I need to win at the Etihad now. I need to win at the Etihad. I want 3 points at the Etihad. I wanted it in there against Liverpool at Anfield. Fair enough, it didn't happen. I've been crying for years, specifically Chelsea away, because of, I just feel we kind of played this in the last 3 years. We've kind of played the same way that we played there. Never got that. All right, fair enough. Pick up the team. Called for that, Newcastle. You did what needed to be done. Brownie points. You need to win at the Etihad now, just to stroke my football club's ego. But you have to be able to go them places and win. I know mathematically you cannot win at these grounds, but if we stop the nerdy stuff, this is what should be expected. You know what Aston Villa and what Emre are on. You know about their players. Even if I'm being a bit silly, and I'm not trying to say it's just Eze, and mistakes happen. But bro, you know Matty Cash is one of the better attacking fullbacks in the Premier League. You know, and I don't know what you lot was doing in training. You know that's your man. And you're not alone, but just to paint a picture, you can't let these things happen, especially for Eze, because when you deep it, even when he scored a hat-trick, busting his ass to drop backwards for our team and do his defensive aspect. So it's about those things and winning those duels and doing better in those moments ultimately in these games that gets you over the line. And on one hand, we need to calm down. But on the other hand, yeah, boy, the people that don't necessarily believe in the gaffer and the team's ability, it's not necessarily, I'm not talking for people that effing and blinding, but it's not necessarily without fault. And you can't prove them wrong until you do it. So right now, you sit, you hold that Aston Villa L, you take the good, the bad, the ugly of what's happened this season and just move forward. But make sure there's a parade in May. You've got 4 opportunities. Ideally, in my head, there's 2 I want to see any of them, but there's 2 I'd really like to see. Obviously, Premier League and Champs. You've got 4 opportunities. If you end silverware, and as much as I don't necessarily agree with all the points and the nitpicking and the out of context shouting about the team and things, people, I do try and bear this in mind in life. You might think they're chatting shit, but until you prove them wrong, they're right. Some of you will get that, some of you won't. So just have to move, man. JD, appreciate you. Maybe back to reality. For those living in the Arteta emotional fantasy, some of us knew what time it was from day dot and heard this morning Mikel was fast tracking 29 back into the squad at all costs. Again, I'm no physio. I don't know what's going on. But naturally, Arsenal, you need to look into what's going on with the players not being fit, getting injuries, whether it's on the field, whether it's impact, whether it's muscular, whether this one's got an injury because he come back, whether it was a shock one, the rehab, I don't know, man. Because as a fan, just with a fan cap on, Kai Havertz has had 2 big injuries in 2025. Gabriel Magalhaes the same. And there's probably some others in between. So there is some, again, at this moment, there's things just we need to do better collectively. The most disappointing thing about the game was the lack of aggression. Too nice. Big up yourself, Lion. Like up the ting, people. Bless Sunday. We know how this ends. Berta dragging Arteta out of London Coley by ankles, kicking and screaming. Listen, hopefully we win silverware, and that's not the thing, man. But we just have to sit with this defeat, move on to Club Brugge. Because I tell you what, we know we're going through in the next round of the Champions League. But again, losing and winning can be infectious. You could, some people like to say this is a shock and whatnot. You can part this off and go on a run now. Bearing in mind the loss against Aston Villa, this kind of filters into stuff. So yeah, and Club Brugge will tell you for free. They don't care. That's a different. They've done very well in the champs. Do you think they give a crap about Arsenal at this moment in time? We're going to their place, so people need to not feel sorry for themselves. And even with the gaffer, you don't know my thoughts on rotation for rotation's sake and things of that ilk. You lot been tuned in. I appreciate you lot. Subscribe and smash the like button. But we need to, by hook or by crook, I won't be mad if the strongest team goes out there against Wolves, because you can say what you want about Wolves. We need 3 points in it. We've dropped some in the last recent games. I am looking at the Wolves game, and actually, Club Brugge, you might have to Norgard. There's a start there. We're gonna have to be very clever. And Mikel Arteta, this is where you earn your pay packet, man, because you've got to navigate, as we've been knowing, this period of fixtures and get out of it. And when I say navigate, I mean 3 points. I mean, whatever happens in the game, there might be games we need to be a bit more braver in attack, games we need to be a bit more conservative defensively. Get 3 points. How you juggle the playing squad, those returning, and all of the things in between. This is the real part of the season now, man. I was happy to see Odegaard taking a shot. Wasn't his best game, but that's what we've been calling for. You know what? Odegaard's best shots actually always get saved, because I fancied it, when he lay it off. You're talking about the Emmy Martinez save. I thought, oh, we might do it here. Wasn't to be, man. Need more from our star attackers. We won't win the league unless someone steps up. Being clinical takes some pressure off the defense. Exactly. Attack not really clicking. Injuries. Set piece FC ain't saved us in a minute, whether we've won, lost, or drawn. Individual moments of brilliance have maintained us and got us through, or individual moments in a 90-minute game. Now it's about getting to those high levels on a consistent basis, man. This Odegaard protection agenda needs to end. Bro, I just like Martin Odegaard, and I feel there's a lot of healthy criticism around Martin Odegaard, around, him being injured, around Martin Odegaard, around Mikel Arteta. Forget Martin Odegaard, his deployment of him and starting him and stuff. But some of you do too much, and I maintain that. You lot acting like he's playing absolutely dog garbage. I wouldn't have given Martin Odegaard the captaincy. I don't think yesterday was necessarily a game for Martin Odegaard. So I share all of that. But when it starts to go to the realm, it's really not. I'm not with that. Even with Brentford, if it was 1-0, it was 1-0 for a long time. Right. Madueke is no better than Wanyeri out there. If he doesn't get as much GA as him, then serious questions need to be asked about the signing. I hear it. And to be fair, Matt Noni, as I keep saying, the only thing I think you need is goals in it, because you get into those areas. I don't know. Again, you're a footballer, and you might saw something different. Your effort with your right peg, what was you doing? And as you can see throughout this 20-odd minutes, I've name dropped almost half the team in certain scenarios. So the collectively, we ain't done well enough. Like, I don't know what, when it fell to your right peg, I don't know why you did what you did there. Football's decided in both boxes, man. And if nothing more, even when you stink out the joint, because let's have it right, 38 games, there is a couple of those games we'll look back in May and say, yeah, we were fucking shit there. Man United will be there. We were fucking shit there, but we grabbed the 3 points. We got out of there. In terms of winning the title, I know you can't go back in time and inform side, but Sunderland, best example. Whatever's happening in that game, you're 15 minutes away. You're 15 minutes away from coming home. Good, bad, and the ugly. You could, you're 1-1 against Aston Villa in the 90th minute in a difficult game, in a difficult ground. You got to come out of there with something. Unfortunately, you didn't. So these are the standards we need to look at, man. These are the fine margins. Football's decided that in both boxes, and I feel, especially from home, away from home, might have done decent in the 90 minutes or not as bad as we're making out, but haven't effectively and efficiently defended or attacked in the realm and the way you need to, really. CS, appreciate you. Nathan, the same. Smash the like button. If you thought you were upset yesterday losing to Villa again, just wait until April. You ain't even got to wait till April. We got them in December, lad. But nah, get back. We're gonna get back. Arteta sexual narrative, unbeaten in 18 games for today. Reality narrative, 7 points dropped in the last 5 league matches. That makes or breaks difference, or winning or losing. Balance Gooner's perspective and narrative, which I think this sums up my channel perfectly. And yeah, we didn't lose in 18 games. When it's all said and done, we could have been better in a couple of games and whatnot, but we're doing what needs to be done. We'd rather that than it could be a lot worse. Bringing in the other side, like you said, if you're looking at it in a fine margins thing, you recognize that, you can't win every game and things happen. But when you see the manner at these moments and contexts of games and you're living them in the motion, you do look at it like potentially 7 points dropped. Or if, we somehow finish second and that's the period we look at, you have to. But it's in the middle, man. No trophy again this season. When is this fan base going to wake up? We might not. We probably not. My thing is, we probably might. We probably might not. My thing is, when we don't do it, then we consider that. Right now in a fight, everything's to be played for. I'm not on just doing this victim thing. And I can't lie. I think we do win a trophy in May. I actually do think we win a trophy in May. If we don't, boy, questions and everything in between. DG, what I don't understand is why is at no point Timber and White change roles. Matson had too much space to run into at times. Timber would have dealt with that. I did think about that, but then clearly, from a centre half perspective, rightly or wrongly, Mikel Arteta clearly believes Hincapié and Timber are better individual options at centre half or better as a partnership than Ben White. I hear it. But I don't know, man. And even around White, again, because yeah, he'll relish the minutes because in an ideal world, you'd still be on the bench because we wouldn't have to, people would be fit. But he's just come back from a big injury, and you're having to play a lot of minutes week in, week out now. So even that, we're gonna have to box very cleverly. Like we can't buy attackers' fitness at the moment. And defensively, it's like at one point it felt like because this thing has developed really. At one point, it felt like it was just our attackers, and it was a bit weird. Them like corner boys in the building point of the season. Then this infection just spread to our defensive ranks. We're gonna have to just get on with it. Come on, man. Like Bumpy has said, smash that like button. Players better go again. Don't feel sorry for themselves. Not the time for that. Got no choice. Because if you feel sorry for yourself in December, then what are you gonna do from now till May then? Big up, Shacks. I thought so. Timber has been the best right back this year. Why move him? All this carrying on. I like that, DG. Some folks just throw their toys out the pram. Like, geez, let it play out a bit more. I hear it. We've only lost 2 games, yes, but Villa lost just 1 more than us. And this is the same Villa that was in trouble and Emre had his job on the line. So with that context, only losing 2 ain't a flex. But then I go back to the 10-game mark from game week 10 to now and how it plays out is where the season starts. Because as you just said there, obviously at some point, people are saying Villa are in trouble. They're going to get sacked. Emre needs to go. They're probably in title shouts now. The narratives around Liverpool have changed. The narratives around prior, like getting to the 10-game mark, actually, where you think about Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, half of these teams individually, and then looked at the table at that point. Some team like Man United are point, maybe even still now, are above Liverpool, etc., etc. And you obviously had Sunderland and Bournemouth flying. You're seeing a bit of normalization. We were winning games, no shots on target. Sometimes we was doing well, 9 times out of 10 we were earning the right. But there were several games where we weren't quite at it, but it's business as usual. So, when it rains, it pours. You can't be disappointed that, we've got another loss on the board. We've dropped some points because there was times, certain games this season, they could have been draws, but we've nicked it. So you get a bit of that normalization type of thing. Sunderland as well. But main thing, the season starts now. Salah name dropping Cara was crazy. We'll get on to that, but I find it's mad in it. And as a Liverpool fan, it's just not what you need in it, really and truly. Just players doing all of that. Shout out Leeds though. Saka is frustrating, yes, but he's still producing goals and assists in what I would describe as his toughest period as a player so far. We can't ignore the fact that strikers don't bang in Arteta's system. It don't, but unless you've got some world-class number 9 and 2 machines right wing and left wing, which I berate our players, but we don't have. You've got to make it work. End of the day, you sign the striker. I know people want to talk about this false 9 bullshit with Sesko and all that, but at the end of the day, we needed someone, when you strip it back, that can play up front, do that system stuff, but you are able to put the ball in the back of the net more than the existing players. So if you did sign Sesko, because that's what a lot of people believe, like, oh yeah, Sesko would have been the one, you still need to create for the guy. Because the defeat was last scarf, it hurts psychologically more than a normal loss. It damages confidence. Need a midfielder in January, probably that Mendoza guy, but is he experienced enough? These guys also ruined our 2023-24 season when we lost 2-0 to them. Zubimendi was ish again. Allow him, man. Allow him. But yeah, he does need to do better. Eze isn't on the hook for the first goal. Where's Calafiori? Why is Eze in the left back row? I think you got that one wrong though, because you've tucked in. Naturally, you're tucking in. Like naturally, you're tucking in. The fullback's not going to mark the fullback. The fullback's going to mark the winger, and the winger in the defensive situation is going to mark the fullback. Calafiori's tucked in. Maybe there could have been better communication for that goal anyways. Eze defo could have followed his runner. Obviously, the ball's come from that hand side. If we go and watch the game back, there's probably a 2-3 minute passage that signaled that could have happened. So yeah, I think that's misguided, essentially. Anyway, anyone that's played Sunday League, you're tucking in. I'm sorry, but if I was California, you can't blame me for that. Like I could have done better, maybe, but you can't blame me for that. That's not my man. Why for that? But that's actually not my man. Why not play Norgard? Why not blood? I thought at one point yesterday could have just done the Wanyeri thing. Personally, people think we ran away. People think we ran away the league with a 10-point gap. They live in a different world, I think you mean. How Arteta said, but still the performance was bad. We need to do better. Odegaard is an 8, playing him 10, F the flow up. I can't lie, you're on the pitch, man. Calm down, people. Give it a go and wait. We didn't defend as a unit. We defended as individuals. Best way to put it, we played as individuals, man. We're not winning anything under this manager. It's clear now. Smash the likes, like the stream. Unless you are Arsenal in the Prem, deep down, some Arsenal fans have expectations. We won't get beat in a game. I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter who you are. Like, you got to believe your team's going to lose, man. Because I do remember there was conversations about Arsenal would never lose. And as much as we were giddy about our team, that's just not how... It's just not how life works, man. Shouldn't have put on Trossard, then changing him for Martinelli, but expect more of the attackers. The attackers have to step up. We know we have to be their best strengths. We all said we can't slack. Facts. 5 points lost now, DG. Norgard, Marino, 1 year in midfield. Oh, God. With Arsenal, you can't ever be too upbeat. The problem is we don't have a prolific scorer or front line. When we start leaking goals, we drop points. This fan base is so reactionary. How are guys throwing in the towel in December? If the league can't be won in December, it can't be lost either. Good point. If I'm honest with you, that's why. Damn, like, you're right, you know, because when it's all said and done, and whether you think we're going to show some adversity and win things or this is the mark of the end, if it can't be lost now, it can't be won now. I don't necessarily believe all of that, but I'm a fan of good debate. Smash the like button, man. You don't get poetry like that on any other platform. And subscribe. It's a shame, but yeah. The main thing for me is, without talking about the obvious that we've obviously discussed, is I've just not been happy with how we're playing away from home. Like, if I'm completely honest with you, I don't think we're defending to quite the high standards. I don't think we're winning the duels. I think the general performance, like, again, I know we beat Newcastle, and Newcastle's irrelevant to what I just said, because that's probably the game I've been most proud this season, if I'm honest with you, because of how I felt going into the game and whatnot. But just the goal the manner of the corner we gave away, not blaming players, but the corner we gave away, the way we defended for that, the 2 we conceded, just the goals, people, the 2 we conceded at Sunderland. You can do the lazy thing, and it's a great strike by Szoboszlai, which it was, but the sequences of play, primarily purely around the goal we conceded and the flow of the game in the Liverpool game, definitely it's at the Emirates, but the goal we conceded defensively against City, I know we have to concede, and I know we're still good defensively, but this is what I mean, where some of you don't want to fight me when I sit here and say I don't think we're defending to that same standard. It's still high, but it's not to that same standard. It's always from a place of love. We have to chase the illusion of perfection. If we don't want to do that, then boy, nothing's won yet. Big up DG. We don't need any additions in January. It's frankly Arteta's reluctance to go gun-ho from the start like the Bayern game. Instead, sideways, slow transition, giving the team time to settle back. I hear you, but like getting down to our bare bones in terms of availability. This is why you shouldn't leave your window open, because there's no fire. I wouldn't do that, CG. You don't want to die on a Sunday. Sorry, people. I was just daydreaming about, how the fly spray actually makes them go. Like, I wonder what it does to their lungs. It said to sound like a madman. But yeah, staying on task. Big up DG. It's been a while since Arsenal fans might have forgotten the feeling of a title race. True. Ben White, Nkapie, Calafiori, Lewis Skelly, Norgard, Ethan, Wanyeri, Madueke, Gyökeres, Martinelli for Club Brugge. Noni 3 goals from 33 Premier League games last season. Never worth the money. Should have got a wealthy left winger. I hear that, man. DG, do you think Saka needs to do more for his standard? Serious question. 100%. Like, you're dying by the standard you set, but yeah, Saka and the whole team can do a lot better. As an Arsenal fan, I wish we win the league and run away with it. But Arsenal cap off, I'd prefer the race to be on until the end or long as possible. Yeah, I hear it as a neutral. I mean, you'd only agree to that if your team's obviously not involved. DG, do you now believe it will be Arteta's lineups and substitutions which will cost Arsenal the Premier League? In the same way a winner would lose it, because yeah, there's other factors, but fundamentally you're the manager. You're the manager. The players have to go out there and do it, but you're the manager. Literally going to live or die by your decisions. When you strip it all back, that is it. You're the one that controls the players. We can all have these opinions, and it's not saying we're not right or wrong, but you're the gaffer. Everything good and bad. It's like owning a business, unfortunately. Like, when you remove the context, balance people only. But when you remove the context, it's like owning a business. You might have a great business and it's doing great and all these things, yeah, but you're not there day to day. You've put the right managers in place. It could even be in another country. When it's doing great, you've obviously assembled the right people to govern the business how it needs to govern. If it goes left and you're losing money and you're talking about firing and that, you might not be there running it day to day, but it's your business. Everything's a reflection of yourself. I need my team to win silverware, man, because I don't want the conversations to go where undoubtedly it's gonna go to, man. All teams are gonna drop points. We will get 85 or so, meaning we'll drop 16 points or so from here. Get used to it. But I hope it. As long as the maths means we win the league, it is what it is. City and Chelsea will drop points. Liverpool drop points. Title races are long. The teams who survive mentally are the ones who stay calm and fans don't. Good thing with the fans, yeah. Because whether you think of fans chatting nonsense and crying or being too calm or whatever, end of the day, they're not the ones who make the decisions in it. They're not the ones playing, like, and the players don't have to listen to that. But the club's not gonna, even if we don't win silverware, I don't think Arteta will be sacked this season. Eze concerns me a bit when we're out of possession. But we lost and people are calling for the manager. Actual losers in his fan base. These players let everyone down today. And the gaffer, everyone did. So many missed opportunities this season. Every top team goes for a dip. Rather deal with these injuries now than late in the season. Brother, they can strike at any time, man. They can strike at any time. And there's, God forbid, but there's no written creed that says, raw, because Arsenal have been dealing with injuries from August to now. When all of their players are actually fit this time, they're going to be now fit from now to the end of the season. This life just don't work like that, innit? They can strike at any time. But again, when we sat here for the season, we had to have considered all context. Of course, I'm not saying you could imagine all my days in the warm up against Liverpool, like in August, Liverpool against Liverpool. We're gonna imagine in better yet in May, we're gonna imagine that Saliba's gonna pull out in the warm up and all these things. But just generally, you have to. You know, I know Arteta used the language of unprecedented injuries. That's not an excuse this year. And obviously, most rational people, injuries can derail any team, but we've seen that. So we know if it goes left, you're having faith that these players can step up and do the job. So let's just sit in the feeling of defeat, bro. And tomorrow you gotta go again. You ain't got time to feel sorry for yourselves. Club Brugge don't care. Wolves don't care. We got Villa again this month. They don't care. Nobody cares but us. So we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Sit here and cry. But we're masterclass for the Hammers. I must admit, yeah, I've been tuned out of football, man. I've been tuned out of football. Apart from the Salah thing in the moments of the Liverpool game yesterday, I decided, yeah, it's not for me, man. It's not for me. DG, what were you saying? Would you like to see Eze left wing? In my opinion, I believe the motto don't fix what isn't broken. And they kept the same front six: Rice, Zubamendi, Odegaard, Saka, Marino, Trossard, but Leao was injured. Bye. DG, he dropped Eze from the 10 to left wing for Odegaard, and you saw the results. Arteta can't manage the teams. It did not bang. This is the biggest weakness with my fan base, is the obsessive pessimism. It truly annoys me. This is why I'm saying this year we just need to win, man. Soon as Odegaard is back, we lose. It's not a coincidence. Not doing anything this season. Team's too unbalanced. We don't know how to play with a striker. The lack of attacking schemes. We haven't moved on from Mikel's false nine ideology. Mikel reverts to type. True, we need to be more switched on in away games. Any positives? Any positive, guys and girls? Anyone want to dance or sing to lift the mood? Big up yourself, Warren, for your kind comments as well on one of my posts as well. I know you're a United fan. I'm not reading out what you got to say, man, because I know it's going to hit us where it hurts. The quality has dropped because we ain't got 11. Will and Gabby don't allow for long balls to be held up like we've seen of late. It's making Rice and Zubi play different. Eze's a 10, not a left winger. So in my opinion, Odegaard don't get the starting job just because he's back. He's not fit and slacked in his normal press. Timber targeted all game by Emmy and Ollie because he's short depth. We're hurt past our depth. Shit. OBR, which you ain't have to put too much fire in the booth. Like, shit. I wish the worst thing I could say about how you put that is I wish that weren't true, my boy. But damn. And look at Julian, man, the Blue Sharks. We're not scared of sharks, bro, or dolphins or whatever. We want all the smoke this season. You think I'm not a bit shook? The thing is, I'm optimistic, but I'm also shook. Yes, for me, the injuries, the shooting ourselves in the foot, the familiar feelings of when we drop points, that kind of stuff. But part of me likes this. Like, we're competitive again. I'm on this. However it goes, I'm fully on the tribal thing this season. Like, because I do believe we can nick something. And you know what? If they're circling, make sure they win it, you know. Don't overtake us. And then we do a madness. Kai Havertz is back fit soon. Yeah, but I need some wavy players in the next 12, 18 months. Because I am feeling like we're getting to that stage, man. Bring through the young players in that. But if we had a couple more lit dons, boy, it's not just the loss, it's the performance. It had all the mistakes and flaws of past failed season. Mikel doesn't learn. I do kind of agree with that, you know. We were poor, but we have to give credit to Villa. They played well. They played well, but man, I have to expect everyone to play well. I'm not going to lie to you. It's their Prem. One loss in 18 games. Keep that form up and you win 2 or 4 trophies. Let's get one over the line, man. If you didn't draw the two games versus Chelsea and Sunderland, this loss wouldn't have been so bad because you would have had 4 extra points. But it's the build up to it, not beating a new Premier League team, not beating 10-man Chelsea. Warren, bang on the money. And also, yeah, that's why. Obviously, there's probably other times where we probably could have dropped points or we were lucky to win and things like that. But that's why I'm so big on the flooring, because you lot are bang on the money. We all can agree with these things, but we all know every team is going to drop points. But that's why I'm thinking, that's why I keep saying, whatever way you shape it, the last 15 minutes against Sunderland, because you found yourself in the driving seat. Like, you've not been good enough. You've been better and worse in certain aspects. 15 minutes away from grabbing 3 points in the Prem is not an easy thing. Get that done. Had we have played in a different way from the offset rather than the second half against City at the Emirates, you know, had we have got a point minimum at Liverpool, even though I think we could have probably won that, even with this loss, where we would have been. But that's the Premier. Like, we're going to drop points, more points this season. I don't feel there's a team, don't get twisted. And for me, that's my thing around City, more so in the second half of the season. And maybe it's not the same City, but they have shown, like, once it's woof, we're there, we're going for it. The only time I've seen anything close to that, and I'm not comparing, we're not in that realm. The year we won, we lost the league, on the last day of the season, just because I think we went 13, 14 games with some really good form. I don't know if they can do that. I don't see anyone running away with it. Like, everyone, it's kind of just an inconsistency thing. It's almost like a top 4 race on steroids, kind of. Obviously, different kind of context. Only positive first 15 minutes of the second half. We looked okay, but it didn't lead to a win. Boy, I know he scored, but why did Arteta play Mr. Hathaway? Damn, I just clocked why he said that. Trossard, when he was in the red injury-wise, when he had Martinelli, he risked further risking his injury after we cussed out Brazil for Big Gabby. You're right, and he has to hold that. But fundamentally, if you're on the bench, you are fit to some degree, and let's have it right. Trossard's been, had Trossard been fit, he probably starts. The gaffers probably looked at it as like, wait, no one's doing the job right now. The manager has to manage. The way I set out the team, it didn't bang in this game. Trossard's been one of my lieutenants this season. Get me out of jail. And he did initially. I can't lie, man. I thought, when he equalized, I thought, yeah, we're not going out like that. Because slyly, if I'm honest, I thought we was going to win 2-1. I did say Villa to take the lead, so I wasn't necessarily stressed when they scored. I said Arsenal to win 2-1, them lot to take the lead. And I thought they used their luck, not luck, but they used their luck just with my logical fan cap, because there was Ollie Watkins should have killed us in the first half. They had a couple of chances. So when they weren't taking them half chances and we've come out okay in the second half and it's 1-1, I'm thinking, whoa. I think Odegaard even had I can't even remember, but Odegaard had a shot that Martinez saved. Thinking, whoa, you know what? It's going to be one of those 2-1s. And it's a smash and grab match of the day. He's going to have like 20 minutes glazing Raya saves. And then I woke up in it today and we never grabbed those 3 points, man. When Saliba and Gabby back, we'll play a lot better. It's true, but there's elements of this season or periods. If, like, there's 38 games, if for 4 or 5 seasons we face what we have now, man, have to find a way, because as much as you lot are right and there are factors, I don't feel it's not that you lot are saying it's a cop-out. I think it's a cop-out. Because when I say I hear you lot for that, I think there was, regardless of, especially in the last 2 away games against Sunderland and Chelsea, I think there was enough out there to play way better and probably win. PCSD is real, man. The fans are shook. But we've been away to Liverpool, Newcastle, Villa, Man United, Chelsea, and our 2 points clear at the top. Gives food for thought, man. Sup, DG. Long time. Keep up the good work. They played well, responded well, then called it off. I think either team could have won it. It's true, but we can't really do the either or thing. We need to deal with reality, and they done in it day one. Man, like Kenan and Kel, DG, man, like Yildiz as a wavy play. He's cold, but come on, we're not grabbing Donny. We're not grabbing Donny in January. Positive note, we got a goalie that saves us points. He makes silly saves and has equal reflexes to Peter Schmeichel. Big up Ryan, what a baller. Boy. Players in the dressing room must want to punch up Odegaard. Well, calm down. When you were 8 points clear, spent 92% of the time top of the league, and you don't win, that shows you ain't got the heart for it. Damn. And Mikel just ain't got it. Got got it. Too negative. His first thought is let's not get beat. Teams unbalanced. The Sociedad 3 sucks as a pairing. Odegaard and Marino sucks as a pairing. Rice, Odegaard, Zubi don't work. No one attacks. The AM slot. Zubi gets lost in the game. We only attack down the right-hand side. What Arteta does with Eze and Odegaard is going to decide his fate. Oh, it could do. DJ, are you worried about Gyökeres? I was never sold on him, but gave him a chance. But my word, I accepted Gyökeres is never going to be the waviest. It's going to be quite ugly. But my thing is, you've done everything to sign for this football club. And it's so ugly, it's beautiful. We've got guys that can play football here. You put the ball in the back in there. But it's weird with him because we do the fault. We all know how Arteta wants his striker to play, which I do think he's shown elements of doing. But I think, especially with Marino, and again, I'm just looking at this as a simpleton. When Marino's playing up front as a team and it comes from the manager, it's like you're more setting up opportunities and doing things. Like you're more playing like you have a traditional striker. You don't really get that with Gyökeres. I thought it'd be difficult for Gyökeres to get 20 goals anyways. I thought he'd be lucky to get 15 based on how I hope you get back in the starting 11 and whatnot. But you might struggle to get 10 to you're gonna play second fiddle in it. So you're just gonna have to get how you live. It's a squad thing now, isn't it? It's not a wavy talisman settings, man, but not really being given a chance. Like, even if he proves to be decent, but not quite the guy who goes out like Lacazette, he's not being given a chance. I do think he can score more goals. And I do think he's the number one. I do think, I'm not going to lie, man, this week, I need to see 2 starts for Gyökeres. In an ideal world, we beat Club Brugge, he gets a start, couple goals, you get an hour, couple days rest. You're definitely starting against Wolves. Pick up Marino as well, you know. You've done what you can against Brentford and Chelsea, and you have your moments, but let's just go back to basics now, man. Big up South Africa, man. Big up DG. We could still lose 2 and draw 3. We would. Marino is 10 times better than Glock Lesnar, such an intelligent player. Scored them goals then, bro. And we're going to have to utilize the squad. Injuries are part and parcel of the game. Not using the full breadth of your squad is all down to the gaffer. Losing one of Big Gabby or Saliba is not ideal, but workable. Having both out fundamentally changes both the way we attack and defend. We start from them to even Rice adjusts the way he plays. It's true, though, and you're not wrong, Water. And it is facts, and like we've spoken about it. But at the same time, in the pursuit of winning these games, I think regardless of that, we had enough. And I think you got to consider that, innit? And when we strip this complicated football thing back, like, they're professional footballers. You know how to defend. You know how to score. Find different ways. Because if we talk about the depth of the squad and how amazing it is, yeah, you might not have another solution or system to the level of defender or attacking and how central they are. That is your game plan. But if we talk about the depth and all these things, you got to have multiple ways of playing. You're right, though. I more felt that against Chelsea, though. I must admit, I more felt that Chelsea away than yesterday. Yesterday, I just think it was a shit show by our standards. If I'm honest with you, not the best of days at the office, man. Not the best of days at the office. Keep smashing the like button and subscribing, folks. Pardon me, looking at a couple things. Mikel Arteta said, you go to Old Trafford, you go to St. James's Park, you go to Chelsea, you come here. We've been in a lot of different grounds. If you think that you're going to be in this moment 10 points clear, we live in a different world. So you're basically saying you're mad if you think we're going to do a madness. Gaffer, I did like how you made the subs at halftime, but yeah. And everyone that said Gyökeres is fat, you're a dirty liar, by the way. Speaking of that, Gyökeres has said a very difficult way to lose. Amen. Amen. We are, of course, disappointed with the result. It's not a great feeling right now, but it's only December. There are a lot of games to play. You can always find some positives, but it's still a very difficult way to lose a football game. It's tough right now, but we'll look forward to the next one. I'm not going to lie, and you know me, I'm not that person, people, but I'm disappointed Odegaard never spoke. Because as silly as it sounds, those are the moments I want to see my captain. Those are the moments I genuinely want to see my captain. But yeah, the man himself has said we have to keep creating chances and get shots on goal because then normally you score more goals. So yes, that's of course a positive, and we just need things in between also a bit better. It's football. If you score goals in the last few seconds or minutes, that is an unbelievable feeling. So it goes both ways. Today, unfortunately, it was the other way around. It's tough, but you learn from it. If we focus on what we can control and do in our favor and focus on the next game, we'll be better, I think. Fair play. Fair play. What has the gaffer said? I mean, I don't need to hear the gaffer's thoughts on that. Of course, we're going to be disappointed. We have covered a bit of what he said here, but he said we've been 18 games unbeaten and still we are there, very close to each other. That's the level of the league, and we know that. That's the opportunity we have ahead of us, and that's it. Now it's the time to bounce back. They've given me all the right reasons to think that they're going to continue to perform at the same level because of what the boys tried to do today. Again, with the schedule we had, it was amazing. So let's move on. Fair enough. In fact, I want to see what the gaffer said here. Obviously, we are disappointed with the way we lost the game. But first of all, I want to congratulate Villa because they are a really good side. They are really good at what they do. We had some difficulties in the first half, especially with some of the very unusual giveaways that we've given after we gained the ball. We can't do that away from home. And again, we even did that at home against Brentford slyly. So it has been sluggish in this period, which is a really dangerous moment against them. But apart from the Watkins situation, which is a foul, I don't recall anything apart from the goal. The second half, we started really well, much more positive. We generated more chances, scored the goal, and my feeling was that we were going to go on and win the game. So did I. I just said that a few moments ago. And anyone that's tuned into my watch alongs, we definitely know how to, maybe that's why we didn't win, because the change I've been calling for, he makes them happen. Great minds think alike. Yeah, we did start the second half well. Obviously, we didn't do well enough for the whole of it because we never won the game. But yeah, we could have lost it before, again, with two very dangerous individual giveaways, and we didn't. We had two chances to score. The last one with the ball across the Declan, and we didn't capitalize on that. So what do we keep saying? Fundamentally, football's decided in both boxes. We had chances where we should have conceded more, whether they had sustained opportunities or not, and we didn't score as many goals as we could. When it's all said and done, that's what wins people trophies. That's what gets managers sacked. That's what wins people bets. That's football, and it's a simple game. The next goal kick went long. It goes there. Second ball, we put it away for a throw in. They played fast, a lot of chaos in the box, and they managed to put the ball in the top corner, which is the quality of this league. So that's the summary. So again, game management for the players. That's the league. You go to Old Trafford, St. James's Park, Chelsea, you come here. We've been in a lot of difficult grounds, and today the result could have been different. The reality is not that that's the step that we have to make. We've been 18 games unbeaten. We're still there, very close to each other. That's the level of the league, and we know that. That's the opportunity we have ahead of us, and that's it. Now it's time to bounce back. They've given me all the right reasons to think that we're going to continue to perform at the same level because that's what the boys tried to do again with the schedule we had. It was amazing. So let's move on. On if the fixture schedule played a part, probably did, but end of the day, everybody's got a congested fixture calendar list. You have to make it happen. I don't know. At some point, I thought we were going to win it. And there were moments we gave strange giveaways. How many times has he mentioned giveaways? You know, he's never been a man to be happy with not winning draws. So I imagine Arteta would have told them that had nothing to do with us. But it's football as well. But the boys are willing to put everything in. They tried. The situation with Leao was the same. He could only play a certain amount of minutes. We made the decision to do it, the sub earlier. We had to do it after. That was the reason we had to change it and learn from it and go again. So is he saying Trossard got injured or I had to play him, put him on the pitch quicker than I had to? He was probably playing more minutes than I would have banked on, so I subbed him. My thing is Trossard injured or not? Because we can't afford any of this. It still appears a bit vague. On having to rotate the defense due to injuries, it is what it is. We have to cope with that for a period of time as well. We know that, and the team has to be able to adapt to that and not look for excuses. Obviously, we know what those two, obviously Gabriel and Saliba, bring, especially in a game like this, because the other two, Timber and Hincapié, I think they were exceptional as well. Exceptional slide cap. Exceptional slide cap. We're winning the quad down. Fact that he don't want to get the best out of your number. I'll say you're talking to someone else. Quad talk, someone was on crack. It's not the decision of the players, it's the coaches' decision making. Also worried about Raizubi. They look shattered the last 15 minutes. That Norgard side, and I don't get it. Need a starting level centre mid in Jan. We need to act in the market, man. January, maybe a defender on loan. What's Tommy Yasu doing? Bun the emergency, bun the therapy. Better we lose now than later. Calm down, man. DG, big ups, and I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think Teta is the guy. Blunders at Liverpool, City, 10-man Chelsea, Villa, false 9 Marino because he can't unlock Gyökeres. Hope I'm wrong. Thoughts. He's gonna have to prove you wrong and show why he makes these decisions. You know what's funny? Our best run was when we did not play Mikel's favored style of play. No Marino, no Odegaard. That ain't a coincidence. Teams didn't know who to deal with that new system. True. DG, we already know how Havertz is going to be the man leading the line. Well, I'll tell you, if that's what you're going to do, make sure you bring me a trophy in it so I don't have to discuss and speak about it. Because I want to go back to basics. I'm coming back from behind in previous games. We try and we've done it on many occasions. And today, I certainly had the feeling that we could do it. But the game was constantly on edge because we gave 2 goals away as well. very dangerous in those open situations. Again, man to man in the last line. They are really good at attacking those channels. What do we talk about in the build up? We're going to have to learn from it. The way we concede the first goal as well, very far from our standards. So they are learning that we can take. It's the learning that we can take for ourselves and then give credit to the opponent as well, because I think they're a really good side. I mean, Arteta sounds like me again, like making reference to the first goal in particular. On if Villa in the title race, they are. When you look at where they are, the way they play, where are they? I don't look at the table. I don't know what's going on. They have beaten some big teams, especially at home. Everyone is going to have to play everybody. So at the moment, they are where they are, and we are where we are there as well. On Mascara's injury, he's going to be out for weeks. Unfortunately, it's much more than we expected, but the player was feeling it, so he's going to be out for weeks. On the mood in the camp, everything that they put in the last 2 weeks and the results they got, the performances, and to lose it that way emotionally is very touching. You could just feel that everything that you put in it wasn't worth it, but it is worth it because we'll learn again from today and we'll make us a better team again. It's 5 months into the competition. So far, we've coped, but we're going to have to prove that we can cope again and again and again for another 6 months. That's the level. If we think we are going to be in this moment with 10 points clear, I think we're living in a different world. Fair enough, Gaffer. And do you know what? Yeah, I completely forgot. I I was reading some of the comments on my actual reaction stream, and I want to know, does this give you lot any food for thought? DG, bro, you played as a striker, so did I. We are praised by rivals for our defensive solidity and set pieces. We don't have attacking patterns, and the goals scored by open play have been far and few. Rice made a great cross, and keyboard warriors saying that VG should have been there. Really, we made more chances for Marino than our striker yesterday. I've been saying that. Ekitike scored 2 goals, and his teammates were looking to feed him, and the same goes for Wout. I give up on Victor when I see him missing sitters after sitters. In the meantime, we need to find a way to create more chances instead of getting excited by corners and free kicks. What do you lot make of that? Big up Michael, because just like today, he said, great show as always. Pat Manor said, I knew this was going to happen. If you've been watching Arsenal this season, it's not a surprise. Lozzy Vlogs, forgive me. Something more underlining with these injuries could derail the season. It's not about the depth. What do we make of that? Arteta can't make the next step. He's stuck on this level. This team will fall short, says KK and Miles. We are not an attacking team on the road. We don't have a winning mentality. So are you, man, lifting something in May or not? 100%, as I said there. And he's showing me some, I don't know, these dolphins, is it sea bass? I don't know. Arteta needs to be held accountable for the diabolical decisions he made today, says William. Earth Extremist says Eze was at fault for the first goal. He totally switched off. He should have been alert and awake. He's very sluggish at times. Just because he scored a hat-trick against Spurs, he's a liability as well. He was like this at Palace. And then someone said he shouldn't be on the wing. Where were the wild horse and Mr. Captain? Who's the wild horse? Someone said take a breath. I said, nah, that's too mainstream. I talk. Your gal don't want me to take a breath. Anyways, Villa are great at home. Stop making a thing about it. We always win at home. I just Villa fan giving verbal. The politician is not good enough in their job, proving nothing. What are we going to do with him? Give him another 6 years. Do you realize we haven't lost the league? It's still game week 16 and we're still top. Absolutely abysmal performance, yes. But given the week we just had, I think it was bound to happen. We are missing way too many crucial players in brackets, especially our centre halves. We lack defensive direction without one or both of them. We've played just an extremely tough run of games, and in brackets, winning most, drawing 2 and losing 1. We ain't going to win every game, lads. Good talking points with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and in between people. And, you know, again, I posted a short. Want to see the comments there. Patman, big up yourself. Big up Unks American Gooner. JD, because you're in the comments as well. Watching the game back was annoying to lose, but the players looked shattered. Wanted to crash out, but context is key. It's heavy on the wanted to crash out. Villa, Chelsea away with key injuries at the back. Spurs buying as well has taken a lot out of them. Second loss of the season after a very tough start. No need to panic yet, boys. Bounce back versus Wolves and keep it pushing. Need our main hitters fit, especially at the back. Pick up yourself, Casanova. Appreciate you. He said Merry Christmas in advance. And he's saying Rodrigo will be an Arsenal player in 2026. Marcel's back to his trolling, saying up the Villa. Love the honest take, and you're right. Big up Odegaard. People trying to spin the fake agenda on my capo. We know the thing already. We'll be back. Big up, Rob. Match and all the context was utter crap, but DG watch along was different. We deserve rivals banter today. On to Wednesday. Come on, you Gunners. Stuart has said, we had our chances, but that's football. But all of a sudden, we don't look like the best team in the world. What a difference a week makes. Big up, Stuart. The Villa should have won 4 or 5, but it makes no difference. When Villa get to the Emirates, it will be the same outcome because Una Emery will make sure of it. Arteta will be schooled again. Like, fam. It's annoying and leaves a horrible feeling. Shout Nathan when you lose, but the players have to pull their socks up and go again. No time to feel sorry for themselves. Nudge said, very heartfelt match. Villa beat City as well away at Villa Park. Not easy, but we moved still early in the season. Main thing players learn from defeat because it's been a while since we had one, including the champs and the League Cup as well. Big up Bumpy said, we move CJ, we move. Someone said darkness. We are so ish. Saka isn't no star boy. Brother. We are a better side without Odegaard. Arteta has to bring his boy Odegaard back into the team and look how shit we are. We move on. We'll have the opportunity to bounce back against Wolves. Smash the like button and subscribe, folks. And again, let me know what you lot are feeling in relation to this. We needed this today to wake us up and bring us back down to earth. Someone said agreed. We needed a little jeopardy. It's a yearly ritual for Arsenal to get humiliated by Villa. Annoying. I think I mentioned it time ago that if Arteta didn't get Gyökeres firing come the latter part of the season, it would be a failure. You need to build a team around a guy that can score 20, not Mikel Merino. This system isn't going to win the league. Maybe the Champions League if we've got no injuries going into the knockout stages of the competition, but it's unlikely though. We might win a cup this season if we're lucky. This is our second defeat this season in all comps. We need to take the time to look at it with a clear head. It wasn't a good performance, but we're still top. We still haven't got our full strength squad back. In my honest opinion, the only reason for us not to win the league will be injuries. Let's chalk this up as a hiccup and move on. Love Arsenal and love Arteta, but the lineup and subs were poor. He hasn't been helped by that shambolic defending at the end. On to Bruges and Wolves. Let's bounce back. But we're getting giddy not too long ago. Look at the pagans. Great watching long. Appreciate you. Too many tired players and too many tired players and too many unused ones. The bangers kind of articulated way better than me what I was trying to say at the beginning. We're doing bad in away games, and that's the majority of games from January. Plus, Villa is our kryptonite. We just got to do better on the 30th. It's frustrating, but I still have faith in the lads that'll come on, you Gunners. And look at Marcel. Hold that, you mugs. Man, got getting horny over a little Leeds draw. Madman. Absolute madman. But yeah, man, we're going to have to sit with that. We did suffer our first defeat in all comps since August, though, people. Our run stretching 18 games. Calafiori is out of the Wolves game, by the way, because he's picked up too many bookings. Shout out, Trossard. I really hope you're fit. We've kept one clean sheet in our last 6 games. So we need to do better. The 2 we conceded were dead here. The Spurs one was dead as well. Bayern, I chalked that off. Yeah, probably, but I chalked that off. It's Bayern. Chelsea, it could have went better. And Villa, I'm sure I'm sure we would look back at that. Trossard is the third Arsenal player to be subbed on score and then be subbed off in the Premier League game after Bentner and says Fabregas, folks. In the 95th minute, Buendia has scored the second latest winning goal Arsenal have conceded on record from 06-07 in the Premier League after June 2020 versus Brighton. Damn. Arsenal have lost a game when Trossard scored for the first time. So now you're scoring a lot of goals. Since his Premier League debut for us in 2023, no player has more goal involvements as a sub in the competition than Trossard. Taking his chances when fit as a starter, super sub, very disrespected player. No Villa player had more touches in the op box, won more duels, or had more shots than Ollie Watkins. I mean, you played the second choice back, well, makeshift defensive pivot, but yeah. And Saka basically had similar for us people. Matty Cache. But since the international break, City got 2 points closer when their schedule was Newcastle, Leeds, Fulham, and Sunderland. None of them games were plain sailing for City. Our schedule was Spurs, Chelsea, Brentford, Villa. Stop bitching around people, is what's said here. And when you look at it like that, if someone offered that to you before the North London derby, would you have said, come? Not to find positives for no reason, but would you have said, come? We got to see what Emery said, didn't it? I'm so happy. I'm very proud of how our supporters enjoyed this match. We wanted to play thinking here at Villa Park to transmit our supporters, our energy, our wishes, our style, idea, playing with energy, intensity, playing football that we played. And as well, we needed some help through the supporters transmitting us their energy and support. We were sometimes struggling or sometimes they were dominating, but we were always more or less feeling good. And through it, during the match, when they drew level, we were again recovering our domination through our combinations with the players taking passes and getting into the box. I think we are close to scoring, but of course, when you're going, maybe they can as well get some transition and score a goal. But we were pushing and we were really, really believing in our victory. We pushed until the last minute and we got it. Damn. Today, we must be happy, the supporters, Aston Villa's fans, and ourselves, because we did the job we needed. Of course, we got 3 points. We are in the Premier League, the most difficult league in the world, more or less feeling strong and feeling comfortable. But this is a race of 38 matches. We are on 15. So, food for thought with him. And Matty Cash has called it fantastic, the goal scorer. Fantastic. Obviously, we knew it was going to be a really demanding game. I thought we were fantastic. The crowd were here today, really helped us right at the end. And it's the craziest that it's ever been. But so happy for this man as well, Buendia. Boy. And what I said here, describing his goal, a venomous half a volley 9 minutes before the break, Cash admitted the move came by design as part of Emre's game plan. It's what we spoke about, to be fair, in the first half as well. Having John McGinn a little bit more inside and then me on the overlap. Yeah, because we'll always value our compactness. Then there was a chance I had right before as well that I maybe could have done a bit better with. I just saw it. I hit it first time. It was nice. We got to take it game by game. Just keep working hard and keeping in our stride. At the moment, smash the like button, people. We're on a great run, but we know it's not even Christmas yet. We have to keep demanding, keep being consistent, and we'll see where it takes us. So even that gives you a little bit of food for thought, if I'm completely honest. Let's start closing tabs, mate. Tab police, you get on to me. The tabs are getting clean now, isn't it? Look. Wait. But yeah, what would you have taken that? That's a good tab to leave it on. And in January, games away, Bournemouth, Forest, Leeds. Oof. It's funny, we need Swolverts right back about now. Now it's the turn of the fans. Talk about mid-January probably to carry the team's energy. Fixtures don't matter. Do your job. Worrying about next man's house. Fix your own. I hear it. On it away game. Boy, to be fair, Everton away is horrible. Why would we believe in Mikel when for 7 years he struggles making simple decisions? Man has no guard, but rather leave two centre mids tired. That's ego before doing the right thing. If he had Klopp, he would have won the league by now. 1,000,000%. 100%. In these last 3 years, Klopp at Arsenal would have bagged one of the Prems. Liverpool last season went on an unbeaten run from September 21st to April the 6th. Liverpool have attacking players that have much higher conversion rates. Our players goal scoring numbers have gone down year on year since 2022-23. Can't lie. One thing with social joins is I agree with a lot of what he's saying, because there's a lot of receipts. Show me some of that, dearest Arsenal fan base. It's fascinating. When United are on for a trophy, the whole fan base hive minds onto it. They all believe collectively at the same time, regardless of the managers or players' competencies. Dropping points is inevitable, not a sign of folding. Grow up and get back to reality, geez. We do not have attacking schemes. Mikel can't coach attacking football. It is just showing itself. Your striker is not there to facilitate for weak converters like Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, Rice. Some Liverpool fans are still talking about a trophy. You might want to fold after one loss. Interesting too, technically. Winning trophies is the minimum for an elite club like Arsenal, or is Arsenal not a big club anymore? We'll always be a big club. I wanted Gyökeres, but I can't help but think he don't fit what we need from a striker because it seems even his killer instinct's gone now. At times he can shoot and he doesn't. We're going to have to find a way to get out of the hood, man. Can you really demand trophies when you fold so quick? You, man, fold like badly set up tents in the wind. It's kind of crazy. I need us to get 5 W's from next 5 games in the Prem, not going to lie. Proper bounce back vibes. We need to go on a run, man. But it is what it is in that regard. I think people are going to be vexed when Havertz is fit again and he looks better than Gyökeres. As long as we win trophies, I don't care, man. Individuals crap can come second. That's where I'm at, man. But in conclusion, folks, it's disappointing, but we're going to have to move on. What's the point wasting our Sunday talking about this? So, yeah, I'll be back live tomorrow and whatnot, people. As usual, big up yourselves. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out.
Like